I know it can be intimidating learning how to care for cast iron, but today I hope to settle some of those fears and show you how to do it in a really easy way. Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. This is Kevin with Living Traditions Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how to care for your cast iron pans. We get a lot of questions about our cast iron, and you probably saw the video that I did recently where I was showing you our cast iron collection. But today I'm going to show you how to care for the pans, not on a long-term basis, but what you do with them after you've used one. We had scrambled eggs for breakfast today, and I left some of that in the pan so I can show you how to clean them and how to reseason them and get them ready to put back on the rack and ready for use. So let's head on over to the stove. Alright, so here's our pan from breakfast this morning. You can see there's some eggs still stuck on it. So I'm going to show you exactly how we clean these after we use them. Obviously you want to let it cool off. This little thing right here is something you have to invest in if you're going to use cast iron on a daily basis. This is something you can buy. You can buy these at Walmart. They're like in the camping department. I think they're like $2 or $3. It's basically just a little plastic square, but what it's for is for getting anything that might stick on your cast iron pans off. Now, even when they're well seasoned, just like the Teflon pans, from time to time things are going to burn on, they're going to stick, they're going to get, you're going to make a late dinner, let it sit overnight, by morning stuff's going to be stuck on. So these little things are great. They're not going to take the seasoning off, but they're going to take all of the leftover stuff off. But I wanted to show you something. So this is a pan that we used this morning. There's egg still stuck on it from cooking eggs. But this is a pan that we've seasoned really, really well. And you can see, honestly, the stuck on stuff just comes right off. Now, some of our pans aren't quite this good, but this is a pan that's been really well seasoned and we use all the time. This is probably our most popular pan just because it's kind of a universal size, universal depth. We just really like it. This is a Wagner pan from probably the 1930s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. But let me show you exactly how we wash it. So once it cools off, all you want to do is bring it over to the sink. Now remember, with cast iron, you never want to use soap. No soap. Just remember that. No soap. Ever. No soap. So all you need is hot water. And it's fine to put some hot water in your pan. If they're well seasoned, even if they're not well seasoned, a little hot water is never going to hurt. So you can see most of the stuff just rinsed out. If there was stuff baked on, you would just take your little plastic square here, go along the, along the sides and the bottom, get everything off. Then just a washcloth. Wipe everything down real good. I mean, you can see in this pan, the water is just kind of rolling right off because it's so well seasoned. Once you get everything washed off real good, we'll head back over to the stove and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so all you need to do is take a nice dry towel. What you want to do is just dry off as much of the water as you can. Now, the thing to remember with cast iron is that it's porous. So water will soak into it. That's exactly how you season it, is that the grease and the oils soak into the pan, but so will water. So what you want to do is, once you dry it off as much as you can on the surface with a towel, then you want to turn your stove on and you want to heat it up. What that will do is evaporate the rest of the water and dry it out completely. Once it heats up, those pores will actually open up, and this is a perfect time to put another coat of seasoning on it before you hang it up on your shelf. So I'm going to let this heat up for about, 2 or 3 minutes until the whole pan is good and hot, and then we'll put some oil on. Okay, so this is really hot. Now, when it comes to re-seasoning your pans, first of all, now you know that this is good and dry. All the water's evaporated off. What you want to do is you want to use some type of oil to re-season your pan. The top two that I would use is if you have rendered your own fat, like this is from our pigs that we raised, this is rendered lard, that's probably the best thing to use. If you don't have rendered lard, coconut oil is the next best thing to use. The reason that coconut oil is so good is because it really doesn't go rancid. You can leave it on your pans, and especially if you're not using your cast iron all the time, that might be a big thing. We use ours so often it really doesn't matter. Nothing's ever really going to go bad on there anyway. So what we prefer to use is the rendered lard. What you want to do is put just a little bit into the bottom of the pan. And let that melt. And then what I like to use are these brushes that you can buy for your grill. And you just want to coat the entire bottom of your pan and the sides. And you want to give it a good thick coat. Once it's well coated, now you want to leave it sit for about 5 minutes. Just long enough for some of that oil to soak into the pores. Now that they're hot and opened up, you just want that oil to soak into the pores, and then what you're going to do is just rub it all off. So we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes and we'll be right back. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes. The pan is cooled down, but it's still hot. So what you want to get is either just an oven glove, something like that. We have this little thing that our daughter actually made that we just put over the handle. And then what we do is we just keep, you know, an old, because it's going to get dirty and nasty and greasy, so with just an old piece of bath towel or whatever, we keep this in the drawer, and this is just for wiping down our cast iron pans. So you want to wipe off now all of that grease, and you want to wipe it pretty much until the pan is completely dry. You don't want to leave any oil just on the surface because that will leave the pan sticky. So you want to wipe it until it's completely dried off. Now you just want to let that pan sit until it completely cools off, and then you can hang it back up on your rack. Alright, so it's all clean, ready to hang back up with the rest of all the cast iron. So that's it, you guys. That was a really simple process. You know, you don't have to make things difficult. I feel like sometimes people try to make things more difficult than they need to be. And, you know, life is busy on the homestead, so we don't have time to make things more difficult than they need to be. That's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, leave those in the comments below. And until next time, you guys, take care and God bless.